Hello and welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons and critically fumble a lot. Uh, the Cupcake Coterie are currently in the Alama-Ver wastes on a hunt for several fairly unpleasant critters. They are out for giant scorpions, a gelatinous cube, and a two-headed snake called the Amphisbaena, which has the nastiest poison of anything in that particular area, which must be saying something for this bunch, because when we last left them, they were recovering from an attack of spine blights, and most of them had been hit with a particularly painful poison that actually physically locked them up for one round, just through sheer agony. Um, they did eventually defeat the Cactuar from Hell, partially down to Froseth making good use of the gift he received from the governor of Demille up north, and now they are sort of in their lunch break camp, surrounded by cactus shreds, nursing their various wounds and going, ah!
So we got rid of them. There weren't any left.
Nope, they were all gone. Oh, and also as a reminder, there is yet another side mission for Nye, who apparently you're supposed to keep traveling the direction you're in for one day and then head west. He hasn't 100% filled them in on the nature of the detour yet, but he has told them that the mission is a thing.
And yonder.
And yonder, yes. So, over to you guys.
Ow!
I wonder if we should collect any of those spines.
I am not touching those. You can do that if you like.
Nope. I collected one. I'm good.
Collected several.
Oh, Hazel, no more hijinks, please. We're in hostile territory. Everything here wants to eat us. Not quite as bad as Stark Coast, but please.
Speaking of hostile territory, I've got to complicate our lives a little bit more.
Which one is it this time?
Which one? What?
Of my patrons, there's the king and the queen. Last time it was the queen, this time it's the king.
Okay, and what are we getting?
A dagger from some sort of burial mound.
Do we know who's buried there?
Yeah, let's get that over first.
Yeah, let's find that out first, because when we didn't, we kind of screwed up.
I bet.
I was going to say, isn't that where you got into trouble with...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I bet I'm Silver that whatever's buried there is going to get up and jump at us.
That too.
And this time we don't have a barbarian with a giant axe.
Yes, we don't. Right?
Sorry.
Maybe this time we can take it apart before we wake it up.
Wouldn't trying that actually wake it up? Because desecration of a tomb?
Yeah. Might not be the best idea.
Anyway.
Well, we'll see when we get
That
there.
would be blasphemy, after all.
Oh god, they're never letting him live this down. On so many levels.
At least it's not walking self-propelled blasphemy. Or...
It's going to be. We're always going to be encountering walking self-propelled blasphemy. All the time. That is our life now.
Well, I just realized it's not exactly self-propelled, come to think of it.
It's shambling about and trying chunks out of us. That's all I need to know.
Anyway, should we? What do we? Do we move on before more
I
of those
need to rest.
spiny friend come back?
Well, they're plants. They're not exactly mobile.
At least I hope they're
Actually,
not.
they do have a movement speed.
They did move towards
I don't
us.
know that, so you know.
Well, no, you did see them move.
They were
They
jumping
didn't
around.
move within the rounds. They didn't have to.
Mm.
They're
But
essentially pampas, aren't they?
their cactu are. If you're familiar with
Gotcha.
Final Fantasy.
So
Yes.
they don't move very quickly. I think we're good for a few.
They don't need to move quickly to hit us from
We can at
afar.
least keep watch and rest for a bit.
Yeah. How close are we to the
Yeah.
middle of the day?
You're basically at the middle of the day.
Yeah,
This
we
was
don't
your
wanna be
lunch
mov-
break.
Yeah, we don't want to be moving right now. It's the middle of the day. It just points. Paylor's light is everywhere, and it's starting toast.
From somewhere in Ava's pack, this little voice going, "Can I come out now?"
There
Oh,
you were.
all Ava hears is beep beep beep. So
That's where you were.
that was
It's
Draconic.
all right. You can come out.
Just hiding in the bag. I saw I didn't think that the giggle breath would help. And when I saw what happened to the Remy lady, I didn't think I'd survive. Sorry.
No, it's fine. You probably
Flitty,
did
rather-
the wise thing.
Well, and I'm
Translating.
Floody much prefer you. You did perfect. And hey, we found out, and I point. It worked.
Actually, it's on your hand and wrist.
Oh, that's right. This one was the other one. My bad.
That was
I
Blade
got him
Ward.
confused.
That was
I got him
Blade Ward.
confused. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got him confused. So I go, it worked.
I'm getting up. I'm stumbling over to Ava and Flitty and giving Flitty scritches, and then stumbling back to where I was seated, flopping over and on my back.
Are you all right, Hazel?
I'm
Hazel is
fine.
She just gets really tired when she does the boots thing.
These things drain so much energy.
Makes sense, I guess. Powerful spells do tend to wear you out, from what I learned.
They make me go so. Wait. Speaking of things that do stuff, hang on. And I'm slowly sitting up, shuffling back over to Ava. You are the only one of us without any kind of extra thing to make sure you don't get smushed. You're
What?
gonna need something like this, and I'm pulling off the displacer cloak. Be very, very careful with it. Cleric, responsible for everything I know, gave this to me. You are now going to be using it.
Basically,
okay.
it looks like she's handing you the skin of a displacer beast.
What is this again exactly?
That makes you a lot harder to hit. Put it on, and, well, okay, hang on, let me show you. I'm going to take it, put it back on, and it's going to do the image shifting thing where I'm like in three places.
Oh.
Suddenly you're drunk.
Would I have heard of these? Probably not. Right.
Make me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Because I always pictured the displacer effect like when you've had a few and you're like you're not quite seeing things, but you're seeing double.
Yeah, I actually figure it's a bit more like the kind of visual disturbance you get when you're having a migraine.
Oh, yep, that.
After images, blurry, everything in the worst way.
Yeah, or like I used to do when I was a kid, I'd make myself see double, and you'd like pull your eyes in different ways.
Guys, we're already running behind.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so
I rolled an 8.
yeah, so Ava just sees this cloak. It's got like it's kind of like fur, not as heavy as you'd think a fur should be, which is good because desert. And it's got these kind of tentacle things on it, and you have no idea, but it looks like it was designed after a critter of some description. You just don't know what it is or what it does, but you watch Hazel go blurry, and yeah, that hurts, and you can't really look at it for very long.
There you go. I'm taking it off and handing it back over.
Okay.
Put that
thanks.
on, and you will use everything.
A little weird, but all right.
Yeah, I think you as a player know what a cloak of displacement does.
Yeah.
Gives anything disadvantage to
Disadvantage
hit
to
you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Hadel. Doing okay over there, Darwin?
Oh yeah.
We are all made of woof.
Tired.
All made of what?
Woof. And I'm going to basically flop over again. Woof.
Now that you've put all the dress... oh god, you hadn't put the dresses away before the cacti attacked. So...
I think it was in the process of it.
Yeah, but they're still dresses.
Yeah, there's a pile of them on the ground right now.
Oh no.
I'm just kind of staring at them.
I go over and I
It's
start
going-
putting them back into the bag.
Hang on, and I'll go over and start doing prestidigitation on them as they go back in to try to get most of the
Just hand off. Yeah.
most of the sand off.
Yeah. Well, you've given prestidigitation, and if you use mending as well, you can actually return them to a pristine state. Because remember, they were pretty, ratty and molded, despite the fact they shouldn't have been when you first picked them up. While you're doing that, Flitty sort of reaching a little claw into the bag and pulling out bits of lunch.
So yeah, just ting, just the prestidigitation. You basically just kind of run your hand over or near and just kind of go ting, gling, ring.
Well, keep in mind you can only do a foot at a time. So this is
There's a
taking
lot of
while.
this.
Yeah, while Darvin is doing that, you've got Flitty butting Hazel's jar of apple cranberry preserves at her. Shove through the sand. Shove.
I can picture the lid just leaving a trail.
I'm rolling close to it and picking it up.
Because I thought you needed cheering up this time in Sylvan.
Thank you. More scritches.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody pitch the tent before we all fall over?
I think I'm the least damaged. I'll do that.
I'll give you a hand. I didn't take too much damage.
Okay, survival check with advantage.
Magic tent.
Roll 20 is not cooperating. It's stuck on the loading screen again.
Is he rolling or am I?
Okay, in which case, why don't we say, Ava roll, survival with advantage while Ben sorts shit out.
Okay. Ooh.
Nat 20. Oh, wow.
Yay.
Wow.
She's had to do a lot of this, and eventually she does.
That's true.
Over the past few years. I mean, she's had a day or two in a town, but particularly at the first, it wasn't safe. So until she got into Equitas, it was entirely tent, and this one's actually set up to be set up very quickly. So eventually, as you're starting with this small tent, she actually does just sort of good to die. I got this, and first it just looks like this little dinky one-man tent, and then there's a shimmer, and phoomp, 6-man tent.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I'm shuffling into the tent already.
Remy is also shuffling.
The inside is not what you'd expect.
In a
Anybody
good way or a bad way?
anybody read the Harry Potter books?
I was thinking about
Oh
that.
no!
It's not quite that extensive, but there is a wooden floor. There's like 3 sets of bunk beds and a little
So
table.
it's kind of similar.
Yeah, but
Targus tent.
it's still the same size. It's just 3 sets of bunk beds, little table.
I'm going
I love
looking at it
Mom
from the
and Mama.
inside, looking at it from the outside, looking at it from the inside, looking at it from the outside.
It's still the same size. It's just you didn't put any of that in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love Mom and Mama, and I am
After what we just went
Speaking of
through,
bunk-
I am not going to complain.
Definitely nice to get out of the sun anyway.
Paylor's light is glorious, but boy does it burn out here.
So yeah, how long are you sticking around?
I don't
I
know.
was figuring we'd at least a short rest.
Yeah, I was going to say an hour or two, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
At least until the sun starts heading in the down
yeah.
direction.
By the time you get to the end of a short rest plus a bit, you can have put together lunch from the various bits that you guys have collected. Of course, Hazel does get to show off to Ava the basket of
Giving, as it were.
basket of goodies. Yes. Basically, what she's got this basket, and she reaches into it, and she pulls out this loaf of still warm, fresh baked looking bread, and some various other bits and pieces. But
Behold, infinite bread.
What is that? I've never seen anything like that.
Mom
You've
and
never
Mama
seen
are
bread?
awesome.
No, of course I've seen bread. I meant the basket. You really haven't changed, Oven.
No.
he was just as bad when he saw it, Miss Ava lady. So don't worry about it. This in Sylvan,
Translate,
so
translate.
that yeah. This in Sylvan, so that Hazel probably or Nye, whoever feels like translating it can.
I'll translate it word for word because I have no shame.
So yes, anybody who wants / needs to roll hit dice can do so now.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well,
do
Hazel
am-
actually got me back to full, so I'm fine.
I am applying the preserves and just taking one and shoving it almost completely into Ava's face. A piece of bread with the preserves. Have it. Have
In the
it.
hand, not the mouth. In the hand, not the mouth.
I'm
All right,
holding
all
this
right. I've got it.
mirror,
I've got it.
There's a slight smudge of apple cranberry preserve on your nose, but at least you didn't manage to inhale it the way Hazel made Darvin do not so long ago.
Yeah, Remy will lay on hands herself for
You don't.
9.
You might not want to do that. Sorry, did we not explain the concept of rolling hit dice? For in a short rest, you basically get a pool of dice that you can roll to increase your. I am gonna have to pull out the book to get these exact translation, but it's a way of healing up between fights that
Won't cost any actual potions or spells or anything
yeah,
like that.
you're
Okie doke, that works.
hang on.
And you don't want to be
use
using up
the
your lay
number
on
you
hands.
have. You have as many as your level. As a paladin, yours would be D10. You get back the D10 plus your con
Yeah.
modifier. And
Plus-
after a long rest, you get half your maximum back.
Yeah, so you don't have to use all of them.
Also,
and given that you're using D10s, you don't have to necessarily use as many. But say you rolled 2, and Look at what Antheus has done. His are D8, so he's chosen to do 2. He gets 7 hit points back, and
also, you go ahead and just because I do this every time we stop for a rest. Is I kind of play a little and work with tune my my viol a little and
Actually,
So
I'm going
I'll-
to try something.
so I'll go ahead and
Oh,
while
you
we're
can
sitting
just
here-
click on the hit dice thing.
while we're eating. I'll go ahead and be doing
To use
Song
it.
of Rest as well. So
yeah,
that means
you
that
you have never actually said you do that. You say you do this every time, but you've never actually said this.
I haven't. Okay,
No,
well then I'm
you
going
have
to go ahead
to
and say I'm doing
actually
it now.
declare actions like that.
Okay, then I am declaring that I'm during the short rest. I'm using Song of Rest, which means everyone also gains a extra 1d6 HP. Sorry, thank you.
What? Even if you're at full?
Well,
No,
you don't need
if you need
to.
it.
Okay.
If you need it.
Okay.
So, Froseth rolls another 1d6.
As does Remy.
The 7 got me full anyway. So,
Okay.
Oh, okay, never mind.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was at full
Yep.
because of my own healing.
Well, there you go, Remy. Have an extra 1d6.
Yeah, she's already rolled it.
Oh well, I'm still
And
using.
and
I
did
just
one and did one hit die, not declaring that he's doing these things, but I'm looking.
I appreciate it. I did it anyway. It didn't. Nobody had turned out needing it. So, but hey, I don't.
No, that's not true. Remy used it. I said.
Oh.
If you look, you'll see Remy rolled 1d6,
Oh, my bad.
got the full 6, then rolled another hit die.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So you get that back at the end of your next long rest.
Yep.
And if you want or need to roll any more, you can go ahead and do that. Hang on. Your con modifier can't possibly be 1.
12 Constitution.
I thought your con was higher than that. Anyway, so yeah, you spend the next hour or so having lunch, resting up, Darvin playing quietly in the background,
Mm-hmm.
having a bit of a lie down if desired.
I am made of absolute flop. And also handing out bits of the bread with the preserves. Less enthusiastically to everyone else than to Ava, but
Yes, from Flitty, more or less under his own slice of bread. It's only when it's the first time she gets really enthusiastic. She wants everybody to have the niceys.
The nicey. Love
is,
it.
that, is anyone translating that that's not me? Because I'm in the middle of doing the bread thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll translate it, but it's kind of sing-songy along to go along with the tune I'm already playing. Somehow it.
How did you even encounter Fitzy? I don't think
That-
I asked.
Lyra, back home. The cleric that gave me that cloak that you're wearing now.
Right.
Well, she takes in fairy dragon. She
Oh.
has a small horde, Liddy included. And when I say horde, I mean they can cover the roof of the shrine.
They're amazing.
Wow.
There's Sunshine has moved in.
Back home.
Yep. So
So there's at least one of them at Hearthhome, and there's Flitty with us, and then there's the rest of them plus a rope dragon, all in the.
the rope dragon. Yeah.
Rope
A rope
dragon?
Yeah. It's
He's shy.
yeah. I mean, it's rope dragon. It's basically literally that. A long, thin little dragon.
He looks like a rope, and people can mistake him for ropes,
Okay.
and can use him as ropes, and then he ties them up because I don't think I would want anybody using me for a rope, even if I was long
Or
Yeah,
enough.
fights
don't-
people, because, being used as a rope would not be fun, and then
We
Mm,
got used as pets,
I see.
not in the nice way. Like
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
stupid way.
yeah. There's pets, and then there's
I
family.
don't like cages.
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone does, Footy.
I like the bags though.
So-
The bags are comfy.
So, everyone rested up? Should we
Yeah, let's continue on.
head on?
Now that it's less
The-
Bernie outside, yes.
Well, and the quicker we get out, the quicker we get
Yeah.
a move on, the better, because we are operating on a bit of a time crunch.
We are also operating in a place that is made out of everything is poison.
And wants to eat us, and so let's be a little less stupid. I know that's saying a lot, and I know that's coming from me, so it's even more ludicrous. But
We are all
I'm trying,
ridiculous.
okay?
It's a running thing. We are all ridiculous. We're used to it by now.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be better.
Even Froseth is ridiculous sometimes.
Frost breath out the back of the wagon.
That wasn't ridiculous. That was actually pretty awesome.
In a
was for the
ridiculous
kids.
way.
It was
Yeah.
for the
It was for the
kids.
kids. Come on.
But
Ridiculous is not a bad thing all the time, you absolute goober.
look, see, this is ridiculous, but it's good, and starts tap dancing across the little table. It's ridiculous, but everybody's smiling, so it's good.
He really likes to make people smile, doesn't he?
Yes. Is
Yeah.
the best person in this group.
Yeah,
Flea- Flea and I
have that in common.
There are worse things to strive for, I suppose.
You're
I'm
you
moving
are
over to Darvin.
you're all my pets, and I treat you properly.
I am moving
I'm
over
okay with this. Look, Flitty has legit saved my life. Okay, I am so okay with this.
I
Alright.
made
Saved my
him-
life. You can call me anything you want.
I made him look like one of the baddies, so the big thing wouldn't hit him anymore.
Yeah.
I have moved over to Darvin. I have sort of ruffling his hair, or at least reaching under the helmet to scritch.
Okay.
Head scritches for everyone.
You know, that was actually really nice. Thank you.
Woohoo!
Great. All right.
I have stepped out of the tent and
I
am now
can't
making
feel-
exaltations to Paylor.
Step out and stretch. Take a look around. Make sure there's nothing has walked up on us.
No.
No cacti, no holes in the ground, no
Not that you can
What
see
else?
so far, anyway.
so far, she says.
You've got another half a day's travel, and then after you've camped for the night, you've got to go west for your little extravaganza.
And I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue periodic exaltations to Paylor until sunset.
I'm just waiting for people to step out the tent so we can pack up and head on.
I think we're
Yes,
all
let's make sure there's-
assuming that you.
Let's
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure that nobody's still inside the tent when we strike it.
Yeah. I don't even. I'm curious to see, just because I was busy with I didn't see it get set up, so I'm curious to see it come down.
It really is just a matter of pulling the central support peg, and all of a sudden, phoomp, it's just this little folded a bit of canvas with a couple of tent poles that still now only looks like it would be a one-man tent.
That is
Nifty.
neat.
Apparently, the
Mom.
priority was not it. It should be relatively easy to pitch, but striking has to happen very fast if you're a scout.
Mom and Mama are amazing.
Mm.
And just
And I'm the bard.
I guess I can remove the.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any idea how far away the?
Yes. They will. You don't know how far Nye's thing is. You know that the temple you were originally supposed to be heading for the rest of everything was a 3-day journey. You don't know exactly how far out of your way uh, the western journey is, but Nye will remember his patron saying it wouldn't be too far out of your way. Then again, it's an archfey; it could mean anything.
I was going to say their definitions may be different from you and me.
Do they often
That's
like,
not
just
reassuring.
give you stuff to do and you just do it without?
I owe them.
Flitty from the top of Darfin's hat actually puts his paws over his eyes. Oh no! Please don't ask that. No. Don't make the elfie man sad. We should let him if he's gonna.
Now, do
I mean, I don't mean to be offensive or
mean,
anything.
I owe them. They got me out of a really bad situation.
Okay,
That
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah, it's better than not.
right.
And they got Nye out of a particularly nasty spot, and people, beings like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nye. You could say no, probably, but
Equal volume of spiders!
I don't know what that's referring to, and I'm scared anyway.
Sometimes archfey get really weird about how they do the
Okay.
things. They could turn you into an equal volume of spiders.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah, that would be very unpleasant.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's not
And
cross
very-
the.
Very scuttly.
Speaking of,
Uh-oh.
this is not going to be fun for Flitty, who's sitting on top of Tarfin's head.
Uh-oh.
Rabbit. For
Oh,
for 4 hours.
Oh,
I am scooping up Darvin, I am putting Flitty on my head, and continuing to wander while making exaltations to Paylor.
Do you want me to carry him? You're already carrying your armor.
You're not doing what I think you're doing.
He is doing what you think he's doing.
What?
Oh.
What's he doing?
You'll see
You'll
as
find
soon
out.
as he finds the damn things.
He is now a rabbit.
I was wondering when that was going to happen.
Yeah.
and also why I'm pretty much just going to stay muted at this point because I can't talk.
Just entire wop.
Did
Another
all his-
dragon on my head.
Did his stuff kind of get embedded in the rabbit, or is there now like a backpack laying next to where he
No,
was?
it's with polymorph and things like that. Anything that you're wearing or carrying, change along with you.
No,
So
that's convenient at least.
yes, unfortunately, he did have a fairy dragon land more or less on top of him because changed, and Flitty because he wasn't expecting that, so wings didn't quite deploy.
Do you want me to
As all-
carry one of
I'm-
them?
I'm picturing all of us gathering around. Flitty, are you okay? And Darvin the rabbit just giving us a dirty look from underneath of him.
No, actually, I'm looking more at Flitty, and like with like if you could see my eyes, they're actually more concerned about Flitty than I am about me. Because I'm like, well, I earned this, but Flitty didn't.
I think I might have to stay off the singing man's head until this is over. Nuzzles Hazel briefly and then goes to sit on. Tries to sit on top of Frosta's head, and then your scales are hot. You don't feel it. You're fine, but apparently reflection.
Now Bunny looks really, really sad because no more flitty on head. Just,
Holding
No.
up the entire lop and just kind of footballing the Darwin bunny.
I hold out my arm to Flitty so he can.
On the arm, and then sort of tap dances up to her shoulder. And tries to use a wing as a parasol for a little while. Keep the sun off.
Would the cloak have a sort of hood of any kind?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the weirdest freaking chimera ever. Head of Ava, head of Flitty.
What have I gotten?
Just roll with it, Mr. Elfie Man.
Continual exaltations to Paylor while footballing the Darwin bunny.
Yeah. Do we know if he understands this when we talk to him?
You
or-
don't. Nobody's actually explained that part of it to you. You just know that.
Okay, raise one paw for yes and two paws for no.
I think he's still Darwin, he's just not bunnying well.
Hey!
Does not even know what that gesture means?
Do bunnies even bend that way?
I think you could theoretically get it to do that, but yeah.
Yeah.
At least
Approximation.
all you know is judging by the bunny look on my face, and very rude bunny gesture of some sort, followed by
bunny blep.
What are the chances of
Wait,
us
isn't that more of a
encountering
Malem?
lem. Anyway,
Right.
Our GM is to sleep.
Moving on through the desert with a bunny.
Yeah.
Make me a perception check.
Everyone.
Except Darwin.
Okay.
Except for the rabbit.
Well,
and I'm the one with actual good perception.
3. I see nothing.
11.
12.
Okay.
Nobody rolled a 1.
Nope.
okay.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. No, you did not roll a 1. That is your modifier. For the last time, if you rolled a natural 1, the number would be red.
Mm-hmm.
Please let this be the last time I have to explain that. Anyway, carry on.
Oh no.
You continue on through the desert, apparently unmolested for the next few hours. The sun...
Keeping an eye out.
Yeah, the sun sets relatively quickly. Unfortunately, Darwin is still not quite human by the time it looks like camp should probably be set up, because with everything wanting you dead, you probably don't want to be traveling at night.
In the dark. Okay.
So I'm gonna looking around, seeing seeing how dark. I'm gonna start with, because you got me footballed, so I'm assuming I can wiggle enough to get at least one back leg free and be like pop 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 on the side, like put me down, you.
You are now getting held up.
It's been about
Hazel, just put him down.
3.5 hours by this point.
I'm like-
so.
You're just
Now I'm like,
now being held,
wiggle 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 wiggle.
Just put him down.
setting him down.
Yeah, pat 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 on the ground. Like, get me, like rabbits do when they're pissed.
Okay, yes. Setting up camp goes reasonably well. I assume putting together something that resembles dinner, and
Yeah.
at the end of the fourth hour, while Darvin Bunny is hopping around, generally speaking, shaking sand out of his fur because it really is hop, hop, hop. I'm full of fur. Pff. It's kind of almost chinchilla bathing by that point. And somewhere in the middle of trying to shake sand out of fur, all of a sudden he's making sand angels as a human.
Hop goes the bunny.
Damn
Oh, there you are.
friggin'! Ah,
Welcome back.
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
We love you, Darvin.
I was trying to get you to put me down. Bloody little.
I put you down eventually. You just
Yeah,
got
after
real
3.5
squirmy.
hours.
You know, she never did tell me how long that was going to last each time. All I know is it can't go more than a day because it's got to happen once a day. So it can't go more than 24 hours.
She did say it was random.
I know. That I know, but not like the max. I assume it's got to be like 23 and 59 minutes because it's got to have, there's got to be some space in there where I'm not. Otherwise, it's not technically once a day. Oh well. At least that one was only what? How long? What? 4 hours was that? It felt like 4 hours. Was that 4 hours?
That was 4 hours.
About 4 hours.
But Darvin doesn't.
That's Flitty.
Okay.
Good thing nothing showed up.
Well, you guys would have been on your. Like I said before, if that happened during combat, or I'm like that, I'm burrowing, and you're on your own.
More than
That's
fair enough.
Entirely fair.
But actually, I don't think I like that we didn't see anything else after those captor because.
Something
I don't
what?
know.
Something could be following us?
I don't know. Just seems weird that we didn't run into anything.
Well, I mean, we'll set up watch.
Yeah, definitely do that.
I'll take first
That is
watch,
the best then.
and then
Mhm.
first Seth will take last. I'm assuming.
I'll take last
Yeah.
with him. I gotta be up at hours. I don't want to be, but I would. I have to be.
Yes,
I'll take the first half of the night.
Flitty is currently hopping up and down on Ava's head. I can go scout if you're worried. Don't worry, I can be invisible.
Well, what do you guys think?
Flitty,
I was worried until the invisible part.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Yeah,
go for
I
it.
guess. I guess.
if you
well,
could do
if you
the
want to, I
invisibility,
guess.
I'm not silly enough to go flying in brown when I'm blue because everything would see me.
Yeah.
But I can be invisible, so.
scritches for Flitty.
Okay.
Yep. Just be careful.
Yeah, you be
Because
careful.
if anything happens to you, this desert will be in a lot of trouble.
I don't think you can kill an entire desert, Mr. Seaman.
I'm sure he'd try.
Yeah, for Flitty, you're damn right I would.
I'ma be invisible. And Flitty just gone,
That
and
is-
Ava can feel him take off from.
That is so cool. I love Flitty.
He really is something.
Flitty is.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I could start waxing lyrical about Flitty, but you get the idea.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. So, well,
Since you're stopping reasonably early, I mean it's not quite full dark yet. I will say that if Furseth wants to, he would be able to produce one regular potion of healing and still get his full 8 hours.
That sounds good.
Sounds like a great idea.
Time passes, dinner is had, and it's possible that there might be ever so slight worry up until Darvin feels a weight on his head, and then Flitty reappears.
Oh, yay. I was actually kind of sad when you said you weren't going to do that anymore.
Well, you've had it for the day, so
Scritch, scritch, scritch. Did you see anything?
um, there was some boxes and things. I
Boxes.
like
Boxes.
crate things. Words
Were
we
they
don't
people?
have in.
Hmm.
Nah, but it
Hmm.
looks like they were smashed. So they probably fell or got smushed or something. So maybe somebody got attacked, or
Hmm.
maybe one of the sky boats had to shove some things overboard or something. I don't know, but there's things.
How far away is this?
Um, well, it's a while at my flying speed.
Ooh.
And back the way we came from?
A little ways off. I mean, you should have seen it.
I was too busy being a bunny.
Plural you.
Well, I mean, we will check. Should we check it out in the morning?
Footy, did you see any sign of people?
Or creatures?
Yeah, I was
Uh,
gonna.
I didn't see creatures. Nothing big anyway. I didn't get too close.
Good.
But I didn't see anything that looked like people. But again, the crates were really big, and I was really small.
Mm-hmm.
And
Could you
if
see
I,
anything what was in them?
Didn't get that close.
well, there was some bright colored things and some shinies. I just figure that if there was people in a place like this, they'd probably be hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a bird.
Mhm.
Bird.
Bird is big.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
Oh.
oh.
Would I know what that is?
Is it?
Nature
Is it
check.
this?
Is it?
Everyone who's trying to figure out.
No, because you guys have already
Have
seen
seen it.
it.
Oh, that thing.
Oh!
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was that.
The big
Nope.
rock that's
No
not a rock.
clues. Two.
I don't think
No,
I have
you've
that,
you've
the
you've
name
you
of that written
haven't
down.
you haven't listened to enough of the stories. Clearly, um, it's the actually you guys don't have a name for it. Actually, no, I tell a lie. Alice may have mentioned it. It's the Shamroch. Chamroch. Uh, it's kind of a cousin to the rock, but
Oh.
Yeah, she
but
did mention.
with some added extras.
Oh.
Some fringe.
Are they aggressive?
Yeah,
They're very big, and anything they want, they get.
I think she said that we were lucky because it had apparently eaten recently and wasn't interested in us.
Oh.
Basically, if it wants something for lunch, it's gonna go get that thing for lunch because it knows it's bigger than everything else out here.
So is there anything we think we could do about that situation a day later, basically?
Or if we want to truck out there now, but frankly, I'm not feeling up to it.
It's getting dark. I don't think we should want to do that.
Not in the dark, no.
Well,
Especially if
We
it's
do
just
already
like-
have one detour to do.
Yeah.
Gives Nia a look.
Maybe on the way back.
It's not his fault. You let him know.
I could go alone if necessary.
I'll tell you what.
No.
I will go see if there. I will go get closer and I will see if there is people. Because you're obviously not going to go for things, but you'll go for people. I know which people you're worried about. Looking at Remy. Then goes invisible again before it gets called on that one.
Hmm?
I'm not sure what that was about.
Mm,
I'm sure.
I am.
I'm sure at least one of you would remember why Remy might be worried.
Somebody we know who was leaving town
On a skyboat.
about the same time we were.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, what a
Darvin.
great. Oh, shnikey.
Oh, what?
I don't know. I make up words. Look, sometimes you can't find the right one, so make them up.
Yeah, that works.
I like the
Yeah.
German way of just sticking old ones together until you get the new one.
Look, I'm a bard. You're making up lyrics. You can't find the right word. You make a new word. And then people get the meaning by context.
It works.
Yep.
I mean, writers make up words all the time.
What?
Okay, time passes, and it does start to get to a point where, sleep rotation and watches need to start. Flitty has not come back yet, but apparently, I mean, flying speed is one thing, but it particularly of having to pace himself, and he's quite small, so. So what's your watch rotation?
I'm taking first watch. That much I do know. I don't know who's
I'm with
watching.
it.
Oh, you're with me? Okay.
Second or last.
I was gonna
I
go
guess
lead that last
Remy's
watch.
in the middle then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm figuring since Nye doesn't need much time, and Froseth usually is meditating first thing in the morning, and Hazel's going to be up in the morning.
Yeah, so it's Nye and Darvin,
Mm-hmm.
Ava and Remy,
Mm-hmm.
Froseth and Hazel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
That sounds about right.
so Nye and Darvin, make me perception checks.
Alrighty. 2 seconds. Scroll. Perception.
18.
16.
Clearly, His Majesty is a little bit less in the way of subtle in front of Nye's new friends than Her Majesty, because while they're hanging around outside, Nye's the first one to see him as well as you can see him, but when Nye sort of freezes for a minute, Darvin looks over, and what you see is a male figure who literally appears to be wearing the night like a cloak. You can see you can see that there's a cloak there, but it looks like he's taken a bit of the night sky and wearing it around him. You can't see his eyes or much of his face at all. Just lips in a slightly smirky smile. And there is a Darvin doesn't know who the hell this is, but there's a definite aura of power and, fuck you, I could break you.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Points west and vanishes.
what was that?
More like who was that?
Okay. Still doesn't answer the question.
His Majesty. The one who told me to go west.
Okay, I think all my bits are still where they're supposed to be. Oh boy. Okay, that was an entrance. Okay. Okay, we go that way? Was that now or what?
Probably
We can't
not.
go now.
Probably not now, or he would have
Yeah,
said.
that was probably him saying for us not to turn back and see what happened behind us.
Well, or at least let us get the right direction from where we got to go next. I'm assuming.
At which point, from directly behind Nye, even with those perception rolls, you did not see this
Hmm.
individual turn up.
Hmm.
It was more to give you a notice that this is where you're supposed to turn. When you do so is up to you. For standing directly behind Nye is that 9-year-old boy. Little blonde, looks human, but something about the eyes says this
Hmm.
is not human.
I'm like, come on, then. Oh,
He was trying to give you a signpost.
I'm just trying to make sure I didn't misunderstand him.
And
Thank.
when you do so is up to you. At the end of the
Good to
day, half of the things you do are far too entertaining for either of them to pass up. And just between you and me, Her Majesty would be far less aggravated by the task you've taken on if you amuse her in the process of doing it. And then it's just gone.
Cake fans.
Jesus shit! What you laughing
Welcome to Fairyland, Darwin.
I'm beginning to think maybe I was better off as a bunny. I didn't have to deal with that. Although I will say, nice cloak.
Do we have any way to
But
mark
that kid
this
was
spot?
creepy.
Imagine that's the first being you've seen in years, but he's offering you a way out of hell.
I don't need to imagine that. I don't find any fault with you at all for what you did. I would have done the same thing. No, you're good. You're cool. No, you're cool. We're cool. That
Do we
wasn't
have a-
cool, but we're cool.
But yeah, there
Do-
are plenty of ways you could mark that spot. I mean,
Yeah.
there,
We can yeah, we got this. We'll put up something or do something or make note of this spot, and then that'll be like, okay, we get with this spot, we go that way. Okay, we can do that. That's not a problem. That we'll still be able to go back and check out those crates.
Speaking of which,
Reminds me, wait, where's Flitty?
where's
Hasn't come back
Flitty?
yet.
Yeah.
you are coming, however, to the end of your watch rotation.
I'm trying to think if I should roll something as to like how realizing how long it's been since we've seen Flitty and whether or not I should be that concerned or
No,
not.
that's an in-character thing. It's been
Okay.
You're basically taking 4-hour chunks ish, more or less.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if he's doing a thorough investigation, it might take a while.
True.
Yeah.
So okay. So barring I'm concerned, but it may still be a while, and I'm still not totally clear on how far away it actually was.
Is that out?
So I'm doing all this in character.
Is that thinking out loud?
Yeah, I'm me, Darwin, thinking out loud.
Yeah. Do we have any way to? I don't have any way to send him a message of any sort, or that sending spell that was being talked about. I don't have it. Do
Well,
you know if anyone has?
let's let Remy and Ava know, because like I said, there's the distance there. There's the actual investigation. There's the distance back. He may still be a little bit. Let's not worry just yet. We'll let Ava and Remy know that Flitty is not back yet, and to keep an eye out as best as you can keep an eye out for an invisible fairy dragon, and get what rest we can. If we need to wake up, well, we can. Besides,
All right.
Flitty can, if need be, Flitty is capable of taking care of themselves. To a point. Audible gulp.
So, are you waking
Alright.
Remy and Ava
Yeah.
and letting
Yep.
them know? So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
yeah,
So
they've probably got their own individuals. Or yeah, they've probably taken a bunk bed so that they're not, disturbing somebody else. So,
so
proceed.
yep. So I'll very carefully like Remy. Remy, never woken up a paladin before. Please don't swing at me first thing.
Remy does
I will.
not
I will.
swing at him.
I will call bullshit because you've woken up Nora. I'm fairly sure.
Oh, point. Okay, I've not woken up a paladin of Tritarian before. Please don't take vengeance on me for disturbing your sleep.
Hello, Darvin. You're very excited for the Night Watch.
Well,
Prestidigitation, very faint bells. Ding, 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 ding.
What?
Probably right by Ava's face.
Very faint, very faint.
very faint, so faint, oh, so faint.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call for this insight check from Remy and Ava. Just to see if they can tell what the fuck with these two.
9.
Remy
Nine.
no, they're
I haven't said shit tonight.
Lydia is not back yet.
He's not?
I'm
Oh.
concerned, but there's the flight there. There's the actual looking around, and poking around. I don't know how close Flitty's going to get. And then there's the flight back. So I don't know.
Don't forget that it's very dark out and the desert is very full of hungry things that will more likely notice us because we can't fly or turn invisible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's okay. Right? Yeah. He's
Right.
alright. He'll be alright.
So I'm going to get
So
some sleep.
you two
but
go to
I just
sleep.
wanted you two to know so that you could keep an eye out as best you can to
Good call.
pray.
We'll keep an eye out.
Fairy Dragon. Good luck.
Duly noted.
Okay, perception check from Remy and Ava. Besides, you didn't roll entirely shit. You did roll that nat 20 on the advantage roll for pitching the tent.
5.
True. That's a bit better. 12.
Remy is... Remy's got a few too many unfortunate possibilities on her mind to be actually paying attention to anything that might be turning up. Ava doesn't see anything, but somewhere into the watch, there's a quality to the sound of the wind that is probably just her imagination, but it sounds like... You know those times when the wind sounds like voices a little bit?
Yeah.
Just whispers on the wind, kind of like that. You're fairly sure it's your imagination, but...
You hear it?
No.
And the wind
What?
sounds a little weird. Listen.
The
I mean,
wind.
I could be imagining it, but it sounds strange.
Sounds like wind.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Creepy desert is creepy.
You're not there.
No, he's there. He's just he's trancing actually,
trancing.
so he's not literally
Elf,
asleep.
elf, 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 elf.
So yeah, there's the two of you waiting. Is there any kind of conversation you want to have meantime?
Not from
I
Remy.
look something up.
Well, I keep an eye out for Remy. I mean, I can sense he's sort of not the... I Okay.
You mean for
Liddy.
Flitty?
Remy is a she.
Yeah, she. I can sort of sense you're not the super talkative type, so I don't sort of know whether to engage conversation or not. So I just try and keep an eye out for Flitty.
Okay.
But I like glanced at her a couple of times.
Yeah, Remy's just keeping watch. Maybe brooding a little bit.
Yeah, that's gonna be hysterical fun.
Rudy broods a lot.
Make me a wisdom saving throw, Remy.
Oh no.
12.
Yeah, no, this is ridiculous. This is
Oh,
this
no.
is stupid. It's just standing around waiting for things goes against absolutely everything that you made vows about, and it would actually be a really good idea for you to go looking for Flitty right now. Because the fact that he's been gone so long probably means that he's found something. So yeah, you are effectively compelled to just go, fuck this, I'm going looking.
Compelled as in leaving without a word?
Yep.
So then Remy starts to wander off.
Remy, what are you doing? What are you doing?
She,
Well, she can explain herself, but this is what she's doing, and there's nobody gonna change her mind.
I'm
Where'd you
going
go?
to look for Flitty.
By yourself in the dark? Are you crazy? I'm going with
fine.
you. Hold on.
There's starlight. I'm covered in armor.
There's
powder
there's
burning,
about a half moon, so there is
Give me
sunlight.
1 minute.
Moon's out. You keep watch. They're all still
I'm not
sleeping and they
letting you
need to
go
sleep.
alone. Are you mad?
I'll be fine.
So what's Ava gonna do?
Give me 10 seconds. Darwin?
And
Remy keeps
Remy's
Darwin!
no, perception check from Darwin.
Okay. Yay. Meanwhile, I'm like, roll a 1. Funny as hell. Roll a 1. Damn, an 8.
No, it's gonna take more
Oh,
than
good.
that. You've
Okay.
had a very hard day.
Who else is there? Proleth, right?
Froseth, Hazel,
Well-
and Nye, who's not actually lying down. He's just sitting in one of the chairs, and his eyes are closed, but doesn't really seem to be sleeping so much. You are probably coming to about the end of your trance period, just about, but
Nye?
What's that?
actually,
Sort of Elven,
yeah,
sort
because
of
she
Elven for
speaks
yes.
Elven. She speaks
Yeah,
Elven.
sort of Elven for yes. What is it?
Sorry, I need you to keep watch for a bit. Remy's going off, so I want to go with her to make sure she doesn't do anything stupid.
I beg your pardon. Say that again.
Remy suddenly got into her head she needs to go look for Fritty. I don't want to go alone, so I need you to watch the...
No. If Remy's going, we're all going.
Well, fine, I try with Darwin, I can't get him up.
Bells.
Oh,
Coming my ears.
so wait, in the middle of the nighttime forest, in the nighttime desert, you've
Oh
just
no.
okay. Yep, fine.
Oh no. Oh no.
So all of you, yeah, all of
Not
you.
those bells. The same faint bells.
That's not.
that ain't
true.
gonna work.
That's not. Okay, Froseth, Hazel, roll me perception checks.
19.
Froseth wakes up. Hazel is still muttering about cake pans, but she's about half awake.
So
I'm
is
still
Remy,
sawing logs.
is Remy
Remy-
already gone, or is
Yeah,
she still...
Remy kept walking.
Oh god.
Yep.
Remy went off. Remy went off on her own.
Yes, I tried to follow, but she didn't give me time, and I tried to wake someone up to keep count, but
And Darvin's still snoring.
Still snoring.
I go over and try and slap him.
Okay, that's
Strength check?
well, I think that's literal. How would a ranger do unarmed? Anthea,
Oh,
you're
no.
our expert.
Oh no!
For an unarmed attack,
For somebody who doesn't have proficiency.
for someone without proficiency, it'd be just your strength modifier, not the proficiency bonus.
So, what is your strength modifier?
It's a -1. Not that strong.
That's not doing anything. Yeah.
I'm like.
Is he on a top bunk or a bottom bunk?
Isn't it roll a d20? Isn't it roll a d20 and strength modifier?
Oh, fair enough. Yes, so roll.
Oh, right. So I do strength.
Hazel, are you up?
Hazel's sort of Zana, cake pans. Wait, no, this isn't cake pans.
Come on, Remy went off.
1d20.
Remy went off on her own. We got to go with her.
There's an option on your character sheet to just click on
Yeah, I
strength
got
and
it.
it'll make a strength check.
Yeah. Yep. 2! I'm so strong, you guys.
What, is Darvin on a top bunk or a bottom bunk?
If he's sharing with, if he was supposed to be sharing with Nye, he could have taken either because Nye doesn't. What do you
Bottom.
think? Top or
Bottom.
bottom?
Bottom.
Okay, if he's on the bottom bunk, Frost's just gonna grab him by the leg and drag him out.
Come on, Remy wandered off on her own. Up.
Oh, Jesus! All right. Hey, Megan, you hang on. Grab my bag. Boom. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
Wait,
grab
somebody grab the tent.
Yeah, everyone out.
Well,
beside the tent,
to be
come on.
fair, at least the tent will mark where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, we don't want to be nicked.
Well, we don't. Yeah, do we
We're in
want
the middle of a desert. Let's go. I've already hauled off.
Actually, Hazel's gonna need a couple of minutes, or at least a
Unless you were
minute or
sleeping in
two.
your armor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's the downside. Darvin could theoretically sleep in his armor. First, it hasn't got that problem because he's got the.
He is the armor.
Yeah, well, he's got the key. And that's all. So we can sleep in that easily enough. Hazel's gonna need a couple of minutes to get her breastplate on, and by the time you guys have finished with this comedy of errors,
Go on.
Remy's out of sight,
Oh,
and that is where we'll take our 5-minute break.
Which is perfect. I need more water anyway.
Yeah, so I'll see you in 5 minutes for what happens to Remy along the way.
oh god.
And we're back. Remy has wandered off into the desert after Flitty and whatever other quest the rather unfortunate suggestion that got thrown in her general direction decided was so vital that she was just going, gone. It took Ava a little too long, unfortunately, to wake everyone. Darvin, in particular, who rather unfortunately had to get dragged out of bed. So Remy's gone by the time. And worst part is, you're not 100% sure what direction she went in.
I'm gonna start circling the
Wait,
area, trying to find
don't
sign of.
No, he's
obscure any tracks.
he's already started to do that. So.
I've started to move. Whoa, huh?
Don't obscure any tracks.
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, good point.
I was looking for some.
Tracking.
Yeah, that would be survival, guys. Anybody who's
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a shot.
with
I'm not too
proficiency.
bad.
Oh wow.
17.
23.
Well, all right then.
I'm going to give looking
That's
about a
about
shot.
5.
15.
Yeah, no, you two not. I mean,
I'm a city boy. What do I know?
Hazel finds it eventually. All Darvin sees is sand, but this is where Ava comes into her own. She's she has spotted. It's weird though. It's really distinctly weird. The footprint shouldn't be as obscured as this. The wind's not that strong, which actually brings another point. If the wind wasn't that strong, what was she hearing?
So weird.
What's weird?
Hmm?
What?
Well, the
are we looking
footprints are kind of obscured,
Oh,
but it shouldn't be this bad. The wind's not that strong.
Oh, you're right.
And I could hear weird sounds in the wind.
It's been minutes. This looks
And
like hours.
And I could hear weird sounds in the wind earlier. And
Oh boy, let's get after these tracks.
yes, let's follow the tracks. Following the tracks. I'm heading up. Come on.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Someone strike the tent.
So you're actually going to strike the tent.
I mean, we
I
could just
wouldn't.
leave it to
Just
Mark.
leave it, and we'll.
Yeah, let's just we'll leave it.
back.
to
Okay.
This got urgent.
Don't blame me if we lose it.
that. Okay, let's go.
Keep going.
Okay. While these guys are Benny Hilling their way through through their preparations,
Yakety sax.
Remy's got quite a distance because Remy can go at a clip. All that military training, and as she continues through the desert, it's not long before she finds herself rather hopelessly lost.
Oh god.
She hasn't taken a torch. She has her sword, she has her shield, she has her armor, but she's used to that. You're used to being in with nothing but your weapons and your armor and your god, at least, in the dark, with nobody else in particular around, except the last time this happened to you. The lack of companionship was not about just having left them behind exactly. You had to, because they were behind you, screaming and worse. Those are the sounds you start to hear as you continue through the desert. The lost and broken howls of the rest of your squad.
Oof.
Remy just deep breath in, draws her sword, and looks around, and then just marching forward.
Okay.
Wow.
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
17.
It's finally starting to dawn on you that suggestion was a bad one and it didn't come from your actual head. You managed to shake off the compulsion to go wandering off in the desert when you have absolutely no the hell idea where you are or where the tent is.
Can she still see her footprints?
Given, no.
Okay.
However, you do have about 6 feet ahead of you, little glob of light, and a little weight on your head. What are you doing? Why are you all by yourself? There's
Sorry.
creepy out here.
Hi, Flitty. I don't know what you're saying, but
Oh,
do you know the way back to the camp?
I'm gonna leave that light for you. You stay there. Right there. Don't go anywhere. You promised me, and you still can't understand me. And
No.
Picturing Flitty just hopping up and down on the head.
eventually he sort of lands on the flat of the sword and points little claw down in universal, stay here.
Okay, if you're sure.
Leaves the light as long as he possibly can. You guys, I'm assuming, are going at quite the run.
Well, as fast
Well,
as we can, yeah.
as much as you can without winding yourselves, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, given dark and blue, you actually don't see Flitty until Flitty more or less collides with first us nose. Boonk!
Ah! Oh, it's Flitty.
There you are.
There's creepies.
What?
Okay.
Creepy.
There's
This is
creepies.
this is draconic.
Flitty, listen to me. Have you seen Remy?
I left a light.
Left a
He
light.
says he left a light.
So you saw her.
Okay.
Draconic, isn't it?
Yes.
Got it.
Darvin still understands, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Remy lady had things talking at her. I don't think she
Remy-
looks very good.
Okay.
Don't worry,
Where is
she's
she?
not far now.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll keep.
let's go.
We'll follow you.
But the I was looking at the crates and it's probably not so bad that you came because there's creepies and
Show us the way.
just come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Coming.
Following
uh,
fairy dragon.
Remy apparently-
Remy for the last 10 minutes or so. Make me another wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Okay, does she know that something's happening
Well,
because counter charm tattoo?
you'd actually make the roll first to see if you need it.
Okie doke. 21.
You don't.
Yay.
It's different this time. It's not a suggestion. It's more. It's the squad, and there's other voices in there. That same level of madness and agony. Your parents' voices are in there.
No.
So is Alice's. That latter does seem a bit more prominent. By the time these ones catch up with you, it's really starting to get to you. You know it's an outside influence, but that doesn't make it hurt any less. Because you can't block it out. You just know that you know it's fucking with you.
When we see her, does she look like?
Well, she got a helm on, but she's there's probably actually make me an insight check. The rest of you.
Okay.
Okay.
24.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's Furseth for you.
27.
He
He rolled a 0. I didn't know that was possible.
25, everybody.
I rolled a 0 without it being a natural 1 either.
That's your really low whiz modifier. Okay,
Yep.
everybody but Ava, who doesn't know him all that well, and Nai, who's
Whee!
Nai, who's got his own shit to deal with, and is actually probably slightly in denial because at least part of the upset might be down to certain things that he was indirectly responsible for. The rest of you can basically see, even with the bulk of the armor shielding most of it, that she's trembling.
Mm-hmm.
But you do catch up.
Remy!
Okay, well, obviously you're not okay. What is going on?
What the actual hell?
Remy kind of whirls around with her sword
Whoa!
out. Then she
That
Watch where you're
Takes it
pointing
out.
that thing. It's us. It's up. Friendlies.
There is a little bulb of dancing lights, which Flitty has apparently left for Remy as a nightlight, which may have been at least part of saving her sanity throughout this.
Are you alright?
Oh, no.
deep breath. Mostly. There's something out there.
Looking in the direction of the pointing.
It's way
Pointing
too
very vaguely.
all-encompassing.
No, it's taking this way too literal. Yes.
I mean, I'm doing one of these numbers going,
Is that something what made you walk off in the middle of the night like that?
Yes.
what are you,
Okay.
Flitty was saying that you had something talking to you or something like that?
Not literally, but yeah, I think so.
So you did hear the
So you're
wind.
under a spell basically right now.
Not right. Well,
Not
I don't
anymore.
think right now.
No,
But you were.
you've given your saving throws, not anymore. Perception check. All of you.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I wonder if it was that
20.
wind.
18.
21.
20
Oh
from
my
Nye.
god, you rolled a nat
13.
20.
Oh, boy.
Let me roll a 1.
Yeah, that is an
Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh,
What the DM said.
actual fuck's sake. Okay.
What even are dice?
Well, it does kind of make sense. I mean, Remy's still
Yeah.
shaking off the effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely something off about that wind, though.
Yeah, actually, Ava's gonna have to shut up right about now.
Sorry.
So, frankly, is Remy. As Darvin, Furseth, Nai, who's probably got it a little bit easier because he's now rather unfortunately used to the sensation of being watched in the dark, so he's much more attuned to it when it happens. Hazel only just barely uh, recognizes that something's going on. Ava and Remy,
Mm-mm.
they just kind of freeze. Expressions go purely blank. You two just Ava was in the middle of talking and just everything stopped as far as she was concerned. And Noms has literally frozen. Okay.
And is roboting.
Yeah. That didn't sound or look very good. We're sort of hearing you, but seems to be a significant internet hiccup or something on your end.
Yeah, you're freezing intermittently.
You might want to try logging off and logging on again or something, because this ain't good.
Mm-mm. Robot. Danger, Will Robinson.
Yeah, I think the whole thing's my internet's hiccuping.
Well, we're hearing you better now anyway, but
maybe.
The
video's still
the video
frozen,
is
so
still frozen,
Kill
but
kill the camera and see if that doesn't help stabilize the connection. It may just not be able to deal with the throughput. If you can do just one or the
there
other.
you go.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
That's
okay.
He's stabilized.
now.
yeah, you're proper stabilized.
That's
Yep, you're
better.
good. I see
Okay,
eye
good.
movement now.
I am going to swivel to Remy.
Yep, she's
Well,
I am clapping hands on her and shouting, "You walk in the sun, and the sun protects the worthy," and channeling the resulting glow into protection from evil and protection from evil. It's a concentration up to 10 minutes. I'm gonna put it on the
hang
spell.
on, let me look it up. It's easier than putting at this point because I've got the.
Yep.
Okay, Remy, you may now make me another wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Yay. 13. I think.
Not quite enough. There's a Hazel can see a sort of a flicker in Remy's eyes very briefly. Part maybe a tiny bit afraid, but mostly what the fuck is going on, and then back to blank. You will be able to make another check shortly, but so you've got Ava and Remy just. For the moment, they're not doing anything. They're just
stopped in the middle of a sentence in Ava's case.
I have no idea what's going on, and there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I'm just scanning.
I'm just like in front of Ava.
Nai is seeing a goodly amount of magic. Let me just double check exactly what this would be.
Yeah, Eldritch Sight and Dark Vision kicking in.
Well, Dark Vision's always on. You're not seeing anything in specific. It's definitely it's kind of an enchantment, but it's different. It's wrong. It's it's you've seen enchantments before since you've had this ability, but not like this. This is coming from some source that has made it look different. You can only just about tell
There's
that.
some sort of weird, twisted enchantment out here.
You think? They just went catatonic? I mean, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. I'm a little freaked out right now. Sorry.
Remy and Ava. Remy had a very brief moment of this being interrupted, just basically with Hazel directly in her face, but for the most part, it is dark where you are, pitch black, but there is still sound. You hear the angry rattle of chains. And from somewhere in the depths of that black, there's something darker yet. And the first thing you hear is, "I will rise." And each of you then hears something different, and that thing that you're hearing more or less becomes your entire experience. For Remy, it's the squad again, but this time there's some visuals. For Ava, it's the burning of her men. Both of you make me wisdom saves. Remy has advantage.
22.
17.
Unfortunately, Ava's still stuck. Remy is
Damn it. Released.
Remy is just, "I'm not going through this again," and
That sounds about right.
yeah, so that's effectively what
I'm
you get out of Remy as she snaps out of it, with it basically yelling that right in
Yeah, she's
Hazel's
definitely young.
face.
and I'm at this point I've got a hold of Ava by each shoulder just to make sure she doesn't fall over or wander off or something. Just I don't know what else to do, so I'm like, I don't want to just start shaking her because what do I help?
And then the next
Hey,
thing
Mom!
the next thing you hear is Remy yelling.
Was that Remy's action?
If you want to take action, you're just
Yes, Remy wants to divine sense.
just double check what that would actually do.
Oh wow.
Well, that's why I have the book, but yeah, it freaking reeks. There's not exactly a celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you, but the stench of something that goes so far beyond evil that you don't. The things like demon don't cover it anymore.
Oh, shit.
There is that influence in this area.
But not a specific thing that she
Not
can...
a specific thing within 60 feet, no.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm just still Hazel, help! Somebody help! She's still stuck. I don't know what to do.
Taking 2 steps over, calm emotions.
Nothing happens.
Thanks for trying.
You're muted, Smeagol?
I can only I can only do that to one person at a time. Hold on, let me try something else. And I'm going to dispel pretend
Okay.
and cast Beacon of Hope instead, tagging everyone in the party.
Advantage on wisdom saving throws. Nice.
Well,
I could use that right now.
Remy's free enough. Yeah, unfortunately, Ava, some unknown time of screaming and the deaths of her family later make me another wisdom saving throw at advantage.
Yep. 15. Not gonna be enough.
Oh God. I could try to put her to sleep.
I don't think that would help. And now I'm basically like a lit up light bulb. I'm glowing.
But
I mean, can we pick her up and start going back toward camp? What do we do here? I mean, we're kind of exposed, and I don't know what's going on in her head right now, but judging from Remy's reaction, it can't be good.
Definitely not good.
Sorry, Remy, don't mean to state the obvious. I'm a little panicked.
Not actually going to say anything. Okay. Flitty.
I can just imagine the look, though.
Yes, while you guys have been and still are dealing with things, Flitty has taken off and has come back with what appears to be a damp cloth. Apparently, at least to deal with some of the sweat on Remy and Ava in particular. Although
Only got one.
it takes a minute to wonder. Wait a minute, where did he get cloth? Where did he get water?
Flitty, where?
I told you. Great.
So
They're survivors. I don't think they're the ones doing this.
has it been a minute? If it's been a minute, my beacon's out.
By this point, probably, yeah.
Okay, can we? Yeah, we can get her away from this and maybe go check out those crates.
Let's pick her and get moving then. Remy, you're the strongest one here.
I'll help for whatever that's worth.
I figure between you can get Ava.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a strength modifier, I don't think, but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I was gonna just sling her over the shoulder.
Remy is the strongest of you, so Hazel's like, I can help you fling. Flump, flump, flump. Well, okay then.
That works. Let's go.
Yeah, Flitty has got dancing lights up, so lights your way. It's a bit of a hike, but it's not as long as it seemed to be when Remy first launched out. It does not look like an airship crash. It really does look like some kind of whatever the parachute equivalent of a lifeboat might be.
Oh boy.
There's a couple of really stressed out looking individuals who are peering out, and one of them is just, "Are you with the fairy dragon?"
Yep.
you could say that, yes.
More than you could say that. You could definitely say yes. We are definitely with the fairy dragon.
Okay, how far are we from Alzur High?
about a day.
Better than it could have been, I guess.
What happened?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Tell us
Try
anything.
us.
happened?
Probably-
Trust.
You got attacked on the airship?
There was a dragon.
Yep.
What color and what size?
Red. Big. We didn't really see very much. I mean, we tried to. We didn't see the rest of it crash when we bailed out. But there was this crazy blonde who basically yelled at people to crank the engines as hard as they would go, and then she sprouted wings.
Oh,
Where
we've met her.
is she?
I don't know. She was still on the ship when we bailed out.
oh no. Which direction was that going exactly? Do you recall at all?
They look up at the stars, make some calculations, and point due north.
Oh,
What are dragons doing here?
oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah, that temple went bonkers more than we thought.
I'm sorry. This was you.
This wasn't us.
No.
This
Technically,
wasn't us.
okay. Deception check from anyone who's saying it wasn't you, because it
Not
fucking was.
directly, anyway.
Okay. In which case you don't have to. What do you mean not directly?
It's
There's this temple that the brass arrows used for training.
Actually, no. Archaeologists use it for training.
Thank you.
but
No, I'm gonna go. You know what? No, I'm going to go with Nye misstating it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
well, no, archaeologists do. It's just
Oh yeah, the brass arrows sent us there, and
and while we were in there, something woke up and got really angry first at us, and then at several other things, and then gone. And we've been trying to figure out what the hell that was, and we're out like investigating.
Ava, wisdom saving throw.
Mm,
to wake up.
Mm-hmm. Because she's
Or
still going
snap out of
through.
it or whatever. With the oh,
AC.
Ah.
No advantage. My minute's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just. Only just at this point. Ava blinks and basically starts screaming.
Oh Jesus! Oh God!
while still over Remy's shoulder.
No, I imagine once you got to the
Yeah.
shelters that these guys made out of there.
Nine. Do that thing again. Do that thing again.
I'm not sure I can. Calm emotions.
Is that everybody? Anybody who doesn't want to have their emotions calmed, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
I'm doing that.
Oh, that's right. The damn thing's a circle.
13.
Charisma saving throw, isn't it?
10.
Oh, charisma
Wait.
then, sorry.
Oh, it's charisma? Oh, okay, my bad.
No, Chris.
20.
18.
17.
Remy's feeling alright.
Remy's got a good buff.
Remy has been dicked with a little bit too much, and honestly, it's like I could use some chill right now, and since there is no booze or weed available, this'll do.
We'll take Elven magic.
So Remy and Ava are chill. So is one of the three people who bailed out the airship. The other two are going, what the? We were gonna wait until we knew what the fuck was going on to break out the weed, you asshole.
Sorry, I was trying to calm down my friend here, and I forget that hits an area. Oh.
You're an
It's
asshole.
I try not to be.
He's working on it.
Ugh.
At least
Are
he's
you
aware.
okay?
Obviously not, but we know what you mean.
Yeah, basically, you guys are mellow, but unfortunately, you know it's not going to last that long.
Oh boy. So, a red dragon.
I mean,
That's what they said, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Did I hear the description of the girl or not? No, I probably didn't, did I?
No,
You heard
catatonic.
yeah. So
What was the girl with the dragon?
It goes Alice.
You said she sprouted wings. I'm
Yes,
just wondering if
Alice.
that led to the whole thing.
Gold glowy wings. When the dragon came and hit, she went out on the deck, pulled this massive frickin' axe, sprouted wings, told us to run, and then flew at it!
Oh!
Did she have a burn on her face?
No.
It's Alice. Oh, you don't
That's
know who
Alice.
We know who it is.
We know who that is.
Okay. Okay.
You
What's
do?
the current
Yeah,
state
I'm-
of these three people besides weirded, panicking, and having no idea what's going on? Like, are they in one piece?
They're bruised up, but they've had the equivalent of they've been here a little while because you passed this in the daytime, so you know clearly they've been resting up, patching up, and they didn't. There's a couple that probably have burns that are gonna scar later on, but they've been treated as well as you'd expect.
Okay, you said airship was going north. How much farther could it have gotten if it was going down?
Well, that depends on when it started going down and how. I mean, it's feasible that. Hang on. What?
During this, I'm gonna be Sato telling Ava about that's Alice and filling her in on whatever she needs to know. Since I'm right there, having just cast on her.
Yeah. I mean, it really does depend on how much damage the Red Dragon did to the engines and the main balloon, and also depends on how much damage the Crazy Blonde did to the dragon.
Let's just assume there was a lot of damage in general between the two of them.
Okay. I mean, if they were. Worst case scenario, it went down 5 miles from here.
Okay, that's not bad. What direction were we going in originally? The original.
We gotta go
North.
from where we were.
North.
We gotta go west.
I know what Noms is asking. I know what
Sorry,
Remy is asking.
Sorry.
So, the direction of the temple that you guys were originally heading to look for the Amphisbaena and see if you could find a gelatinous cube, and that being sort of scorpion territory, was pretty much north. Nye's detour, which you get the impression, as and when you can, is west. You don't know how far. I mean, it's entirely possible they got, you know. Do you reckon Crazy Blonde could beat a dragon?
Yes.
Anyone could shoot. If anyone could,
Yeah,
at
if
least
anyone could.
go down trying.
City.
Oh,
Remy.
and I
Remy.
unfortunately, right at that moment is when calm emotions wears
Okay, Remy tries to take a deep breath. We are going north. You can come with you three can come with us, or you can. The city's that way, and I understand that it's full of dangerous things, but we need to go north first. You three can stick with us, stick in the back, and we will get you to the city within a few days.
Not sure that bringing them with us is a good idea, given what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Yes,
But do we want to
Sounds
leave
that
them
way. It's only a day. Be careful. You should be fine.
Which point, one of them pulls out. This is not something you've ever seen before. It's a longish stick with sort of an odd kind of handle that looks like it would be a crossbow, but there's no cross point to it. There's a smell of the kind of black powder that you get with fireworks. We arm ourselves at Egref. We should
okay, if
be
you can
okay.
take care of yourself, then yeah, you'll be fine.
More or less, yeah. We just don't let anything get close. We just didn't want to go traveling at night. We're a little short on things like torches, and by this point, the guy who actually had his emotions calmed is now quietly gibbering. Also, he's not going to want to go near fire for a very long time.
Okay, so
Uh,
Hazel, if you're still
So no
banged
torches.
up, Hazel can heal you, and then city's that way.
No,
So
we had potions. We had the kit. We're fine. We just
okay, that's very good because we really need to go north.
Okay, we're going. Let's go back to camp.
We need
Leave
that
these-
tent too.
Yeah, and leave these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Leave these nice people to be. Let's go.
do you guys need anything? Because anything we don't have to carry back is. This might
I'm
be
okay.
around the point at which Nye remembers that they're gonna want to mark where they left the tent, and they can't leave the tent there.
I'm actually already looking at look at the crates, seeing how smashed these things are.
They're pretty smashed. Most of what's in them, though, are textiles, bits of cloth, that kind of thing, in various fairly bright colors.
What do you think? What do you need us to take? I mean, if we refuse to take stuff off your hands.
And
I mean, we're adventure.
we've well, I don't know. I don't know what kinds of things you might need. Besides,
We'll look around.
we recognize those bags. I mean, it would be easy enough to take a bit of the lifeboat, for lack of a better word, tie one of the brighter sticks of fabric to it, and jam it in a sandbank to.
Make a
Doesn't
flag,
matter.
basically.
So
I
yeah,
am
we'll take.
taking
Uh,
one of those.
the rest of you, and anybody who wants to look a little deeper than that,
Mm-hmm.
investigation check.
I was going to ask. Considering I do have 19.
I'm actually gonna try and help.
19.
Ava's still
One.
Oh, two not ones.
I'm
Yeah.
still shell shocked.
4.
Ava's still
14.
shell shocked. Froseth is trying to keep an eye on her right now. So is Nye. Darvin, Remy, and Hazel, underneath some of the bits and pieces, happen to find a collection of herbs that Remy and Hazel in particular find familiar because they are what you would find in a standard herbalism kit. The kind of thing Froseth uses for the health potion making and other things.
That looks useful. I don't know how it's useful, but it looks useful.
If they want
Ooh,
to
this one.
take those, that would be enough to effectively stock Froseth's medical kit without recourse to spending gold on it for at least 5 regular healing potions. It would just take the time, not the gold cost. I don't know if anyone's going to say that because Froseth is way too busy.
Froseth. Hey,
Dale?
medical kit stuff for you.
Herbalism kit. Herbalism kit.
Well, herbalism kit, but it's stuff enough to do the things you do.
Heck?
And I'm
There you go,
just
Mike.
handing him the entire thing. Okay. I'm gonna poke around one more time.
Yeah, that's the main bit. You can get a decently brightly colored scarfish kind of thing and a pole from what used to be the lifeboat, as it were. And Flitty can quite easily light your way back to camp.
Thank you, Flitty.
And if anybody actually wants to talk out what they saw, heard, particularly that bit at the beginning.
So, go ahead, Hazel.
So now we have 3 on the list: black, green, and red.
You also had white, Faridel, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
black, green, red, and white. We're only missing
That would
one color
leave
out of the whole five-headed nonsense barrel.
blue, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And Flitty just sort of, not me. I don't
You're
breathe
not.
lightning, I breathe giggles.
Breathe,
Yeah, you
breathe,
breathe.
breathe laughter. Yes,
You breathe sparklies and awesome.
yes, and we love you. Unironically,
Oh, okay. We get 4 out of the 5 colors of nonsense. Wonderful.
Remy, Ava, what was
Death
that?
starving? Oh,
What-
that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean,
I don't ever want to see that again, though.
I mean, you
can
when you
worry
screamed
about
and
that on the way back because we need to.
Yeah, no,
Well,
yeah,
we're-
we were
well,
assuming
this
you were
is-
already walking back.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking while we're walking.
Yeah.
No, we need to
So,
keep moving.
any
and
weird
then-
voices in that weird vision you had?
Did I hear
Yes.
voices? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah.
What were they?
Screams, mostly. Screams.
Anything that wasn't just screaming in terror and horribleness?
Not really.
Something
Please,
on something bad. But
Just-
What?
please, and
I don't know.
that's about it.
To remind you guys, because I imagine it got lost in the kerfuffle, there was the sound of the chains
Oh yes, there was
and
that.
the "I will rise."
Hear that? Did you hear that too, Remy?
Yeah.
Well,
Chains,
given-
I will rise.
Gee,
What
I
was
wonder what that. Yeah,
Any-
that's kind of on the
Remy
nose.
and Hazel, now that things have calmed down a little, because you are the proficient ones, make me a religion check.
17.
I'm actually
14.
proficient.
Oh, sorry, Furseth as well then.
15.
Furseth funnily makes it when Hazel does not. Remy definitely does. One of the Tritherian things is you've kind of got to know what you're probably going to need to have retribution against. You don't have a lot of details because some of the older, nastier gods, you don't talk about them much because to name them gives them power. What comes to mind when you think about that is the chained oblivion.
Oh.
It's a world devourer, but not the kind that the rest of you had already dealt with. That one wants to corrupt and taint and turn the world into something very, very different. The chained oblivion just wants to dunk it in hellfire until it no longer exists. That's the only thing you two know. Hazel has a thing sort of at the back of her head, but that was a "we'll tell you when you're older" thing.
I. Why is it always to tell you when you're older? Crap.
Believe me, it's even worse for elves. We'll tell you when you're 50 is a phrase often used.
So,
I am glad I am not a full elf.
so Remy was just told about this as a miscellaneous evil, but not necessarily directly relevant to the current quest at hand.
It's definitely not relevant. Well, as far as you know, it's not relevant to the
Yeah, as far
current
as we
quest
know.
at hand. But she was let in on the existence of a lot of older, nastier gods, which the existence of which are the reasons why the gods separated themselves from the prime material plane en masse. There had to be rules, basically, and if the bad ones couldn't come in, the good ones couldn't either, which is why Torm set up the clerics and the paladins to act for the gods. Unfortunately, that has meant that where there's clerics and paladins, there's also evil clerics, evil paladins, and cultists. And given some of the shit that's been going on lately, it's entirely possible that there's things and people out there trying to find loopholes.
And she wasn't told about that, there's something possibly buried out here.
That would be more of a. I don't know, if at 17, you're not really au fait with what happens this far
Okay.
up. So, I mean, it's possible the world is a lot older than a lot of the people on it,
Okay.
but you rolled the highest, so there is another thing that it is possible. The thing you woke up in that temple to Tiamat might not have just been a dinner bell for a red dragon. If Tiamat wants to return to the prime material plane as anything other than Blondie McEvil bitch, she'd have to weaken certain points to do it. And if something else took advantage of that, then it's entirely possible that things might be creeping in to essentially chuck people's brains into fiery, hopeless oblivion and then kill you all. And then everything else, etc.
Okay. So, are we back at camp by now?
I figure Remy's been mulling this over, and everybody else is sort of going, let's just let her think this through, because she's got that wheels turning
look.
posture. Yeah.
I am working on the flag. Shunk, next to the tent.
I'm going to go into the tent and drop face down on one of the bottom bunks.
I'm on my
Okay,
bunk.
who's got the map? We have a map, right?
We've
Okay,
heard
so we
of
don't have a
that.
map.
Oh, we forgot a map.
I was wondering when anyone was
How
gonna...
did we forget of that?
Oops. Wouldn't I have had one from my previous mission?
And now we roll the hand of fate. You do, but it's not of this area. Exactly. You've got a little bit of. You think you're right at the northern edge of the map now,
Mm-hmm.
but every place else you want to go is too far north to be on the map you have.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
basically,
reach-
I just hand him the map and sitting
I'm gonna
on my bunk, like not saying anything.
Let me see that map a moment.
I'm gonna grab
I
some
don't
paper.
Remy is waving Ava over since she's the ranger.
Yeah.
Once we get back from this current thing, we need to go back to the governor and tell him there's something out there under the category of things that should not be named, but will have to be named to him, obviously. But
To her.
to her.
Graham Bendis is very much a her. And yes, gorgeous, also terrifying.
Hazel, you useless lesbian.
I'm just grabbing some paper and being like, here, right, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Yeah, make a rough. We need to make a broad location.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
the five
gonna-
claws, what's down there, and also.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
was
Yeah,
that point
yeah.
on
Well, the
was
others
that
go back to
point on
sleep.
was that point on the map?
Yeah, Remy just needs Ava and I guess Hazel since this is priestly.
Okay. Nine.
Was the if the point of the evil under the sand was on the map, I can help
Good.
because of this. Is this how do I hold on? Because of that.
Because We
Because
need
if it's
to let
gone
the
to the
five claws know what's out there.
And
Because
where?
Yeah, because you
Besides,
never did tell them what happened underneath because Darwin got you into too much shit.
and I don't know if we want to really talk to Kreia, but we can send a message through someone else, like say Froseth or Flitty or
Anyone other than me.
Ding, ding, hello. Uh, Hazel is probably actually her. Hazel and Remy. Hazel because she's picked some stuff up, Remy because she was born in this area. Given that this is a god thing, Kreia Bendis might not be the one to speak to. Between where you are and the spot way up north where Alice was heading is the dominion of Behir Zet, who runs the Heavens Ward. It's a place where it's like it's like a huge temple district. Gods that some of you have never even heard of are worshipped there, and if they're not worshipped because they're too evil, they'd still be in the lore from the previous gods. So, if anybody really needed to know that something that bears the name the Chained Oblivion might be rising,
Remy was thinking of sending a word to a senior cleric of Tritherion at some location or another.
yeah, the absolute head of just about all of the faiths on the continent are in the Heavens Ward.
Okay, so
logically we want to be going there.
we need to get word to the five claws and then get word to Heaven's Word.
Heaven's Word belongs to one of the five claws, you absolute doofus.
At which
Even
point
better.
Flitty nips Hazel on the ear. Leave her alone. She's had a hard night.
Yeah,
And she
yeah,
still
you're
owes
right.
some sleep.
Oh.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Flitty, whatever you said. So first thing when we get back to the city, go to the governor, get out a map, tell them broadly where it is, and then they need to get the word out to the other dragons, other important people, because that has a
Okay.
very potential to be a big problem, in addition to our own big problem.
So, in order of things we need to do, it's go north,
Yes.
go north, then come back here, go go north, which solves the airship thing, possibly, and everything else we got to do around here with the snake and the cube and the scorpions, and then we come back here, we go west for nice thing, and then after that we go back to city, and we make a beeline for Heaven's Ward, where we can tell both the Five Claw, who's not going to be pissed at us, less pissed at us than the rest of than the one in the place we're going back to.
Well,
And
if
we'll
there's
be in the middle of the religious center of the whole continent, where we can get all of the info we will ever need.
oh
Does that sound like it makes sense?
yes, but if there's another five call there, then the governor she'll get word to the next one.
We probably should go there anyway.
Yeah, yes, but we also need to get the poison.
How far away is this?
That
already
we'll
have
do
a
when we go
request.
north, remember?
Yes.
We get poison when we go north. We go back to city to get the money for it, and then we take that money and we get to the next location. We can
How
send
far
word.
away?
We have access to airships from the city.
At which point, Flitty from the top of Froseth's head at this point is going, I'm gonna say this in Draconic, because A, it's easier, and B, you verbally flail less. Could you tell, the Remy lady that we think it's that we're trying to avoid having to talk to the Kreia dragon because she doesn't like us, and the gold dragon man probably doesn't not probably likes us a little better, and we want somebody to actually let us in without turning into a really big dragon and threatening to eat us. I don't really want to be an appetizer.
I don't want to be turned into a cockroach.
I will translate.
I mean, how far is it to this
So
Heaven's
all you
Ward
hear,
place?
is the cheeping from Woody, and all of a sudden Darwin just wakes up enough to go, I don't want to be a cockroach, and
Flitty turns around and goes, I think what the Hazel Lady is saying is that if we get the money for this week, because she doesn't have to buy a breastplate anymore, you can get an airship. And probably a less supposedly safe airship so it won't cost as much money, so that because you if just the Alice A lady would take on a red dragon, then you guys could do better because there's more of you, even if you are occasionally made of stupid.
Accurate.
occasionally.
At which point,
Very accurate.
turns up to Remy, winds around her neck and sort of goes, I am gonna keep an eye on her so she don't wander away again.
Remy will
Thank you.
scripture.
Him.
How many more days of food do we have? And water?
In just supplies alone, you've got about a week. You've got Nye, who should be able to find some small game and probably the occasional oasis because of his wanderer. Um,
And we have the basket
and
and
you,
jug.
you have a basket and a jug, which will keep you going for longer. It will very much make your supplies stretch.
Okay, that's
How far away is
Okay.
this Heaven's Ward place? How long would it take us to get there?
You have no
Walking?
idea.
Well, I'm asking in character.
Walking.
And
I have no idea.
I'm saying to them because they don't have a map
Oh.
that covers the entire region.
Okay.
Yeah, walking. We don't know. That's
Okay.
why I think we need to get our thing done in the north, go do your thing in the west, and then
I'm
get
ju-
an airship and do that.
Okay.
Because then
just
the
wa-
airship will
okay.
know where we're going. We can get
I
a
was
map
just
while we're
wondering-
at it.
I was just wondering if it made more sense to get the word out first, but
we're already a day out.
okay.
We can't keep going back and forth across the desert.
Yeah.
Because if we keep running around, we'll never actually get anything done.
And we
I do
can't.
enough running around and not getting anything done. I spent all of my time at Mount Paylor running around and getting nothing done.
We
I
have
am
to go
done.
for the airship tomorrow.
Yeah, I am done not getting anything done.
Tomorrow, and I kind of look at the opening tent. I think that's in a few hours.
Yes, so Remy is going to try to sleep.
Yeah, same with Ava.
You've got
Yeah, I'm going to go out and stand. I'm going to go keep watch. I think I was done trancing.
so you've got
Means I would have got my 8 hours too.
yeah. And you might want to nap a little bit more just to finish the catching up.
Yep.
But if it's me and Flitty, then it's me and Flitty.
Well, to be fair, it's most
Then again,
Flitty
Flitty needs to sleep too.
Flitty is currently sitting on sort of curled up on the pillow next to Remy, so that if she moves, Flitty will wake up and know what's going on. The two of you who had their last bits of sleep get it. Just it's not the best of sleeps. Remy,
restless.
however, does have it a little bit easier because somewhere in the midst of that, the memories more than any specific messing with your mind. There is that voice that steadied her the last time when that actually happened. You will prevail. It will not rise. And from that point on, because retribution is not always without mercy, you get the last bits of your sleep are uh, dreaming of when you were younger and playing with a much younger Puffy.
Aww.
Ava, unfortunately, has no such connection to
Nope.
the gods. So eventually, once Remy has settled down somewhat, Ava will wake up with Flitty sort of snuggled up next to her, kind of like a small, draconic little teddy bear.
That's adorable.
Aww. Cute damage.
Okay, now I want to commission somebody to make a plush fairy dragon.
Right?
But eventually,
And then kind of scooch her off asleep.
yeah, it's a little of the worse for wear. You do, you get your full rest. You're properly healed up,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got effectively. Thankfully, nothing further happened in the
Mm.
night, probably because I took one look at Flaily, Cleric of Palor, and decided, hell with this. We've had our we've had our fun for the evening. So when everybody's when everybody's woken up, you're finding Flitties and trying to drag a bag of cookies out of one of the bags of holding.
Here, let me help you with that.
Is the bag of cookies bigger than he is?
He fits very comfortably in the bag of cookies and pointed back.
I am
Okay.
going to head outside of the tent briefly to do my morning ritual and check my staff of healing. So I'm going to roll for that.
Okay.
That's back to full charges.
Cool.
Always a good thing. Yeah, your Aura of Life tattoo is back operational. You still have 2 charges left on your tattoo for Seth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Tingly.
dawn, and I've burned all my spells for the day.
No,
Well,
because
you
You're
cover
a
on.
warlock. You get it back in short rests.
so you're fine. Besides, if all else fails, you've still always got Eldritch Blast.
Always.
That's
Although
the warlock standard.
since I've been doing Red Mage more in 14, I cannot help but see Ver Thunder as Eldritch Blast.
Anyway,
Actually, Eldritch Blast is more green, so it'd be more Verero.
Yeah, but Ver Thunder looks really cool.
Anyway.
Anyway, so yes, I'm assuming relatively quick breakfast because once Remy does wake up, knowing Remy the impatient, it really is just
Yeah.
on with
Let's go.
armor, put together something she can actually eat while walking in full military tradition, and then just come on.
Yep. Yep.
Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those days.
One of the things you do find when you when you come out of the tent to strike it and get on with the day is that Hazel's managed to find in the bundle of fabrics to use as a marking point is actually managed to find what's less a proper bit of cloth and more almost a tapestry design, full on Palor imagery.
Nice.
Yee! I'm hugging it.
Okay,
And I'm going to wind it up and shove it in the bag.
No, because you need that to mark.
that's the flag.
Oh, that's the flag?
Yeah, Hazel, that's the flag.
Oh,
Wasn't it?
back on the pole.
Oh boy,
I mean, I
we're starting out
suppose-
like that now.
Oh boy.
Shush you! And I start exaltations to Palor again. At
Right,
full
right next to
volume.
the flag, I'm sure.
Yes.
Of course.
Does Remy want to step in here? Because this is going to keep going if she doesn't start nudging people.
Yeah,
Oh,
Remy
got-
will nudge anyone that's not starting to march.
Prestidigitation.
Hazel, remember, hostile territory.
Following, still belting out exaltations, just less loud.
How do you belt out
Hostile.
less loud?
Like
I'm
I'm
okay.
down from approaching hypersonic to actually just high volume chatter.
Hostile.
Hand over Hazel's mouth.
Thank you, Frosa.
Exalt on the inside, please.
Exalt at
Hostile.
inside voice.
I would like to not get stuck by more freaking cacti. Thank you.
Or
Fair
eaten by the
enough.
sand.
No,
Ava's just
more
walking
a
next to
low
Darwin
tone
silently.
of exaltation is probably a good idea, given what's down that way.
Goal is to not be lunch. Got it. Let's.
Yeah.
Right.
Breakfast.
Brunch.
Whatever. Goal is to not be food.
We are friends, not food.
We are cupcakes, though.
You're terrible. You
Welcome
are
to
terrible.
the family, Nye. Welcome to the family.
You start fairly early, probably not as early as Remy would like, but fairly early, and a couple of hours at a reasonable pace, because you can travel at a good pace first thing when the sun is high. Doesn't really take a tracker to notice the rather large splatter of blood on the ground, and we're talking 10 feet.
What in the?
Oh shit.
I think that's the result of a dragon being hit by an axe.
Yeah, that
we're
looks
going
like
in
a
the right
barbarian
direction.
impact. That looks like a barbarian impact result. Yes.
Ava's kind of a little out of her funk.
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
That's a lot of splat.
That's not. That.
Is that human? Is that what is that?
That cannot be
can't be-
human.
it's-
That
it's
cannot
far too
I
much.
possibly
don't
be
think
human.
humans have that much blood.
It's
That
far too
would-
much.
I don't know. I've never seen one go before. That's a technical
Well, I
term.
have.
That's a technical
Why?
wide splorch.
Can I tell it's dragon blood?
Roll me survival.
Survival, not nature?
Mm, we'll go
Well,
for
whichever
survival.
one.
Whichever one was higher.
Yeah, okay. 19.
That's dragon blood. You would know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is dragon blood, guys.
Okay. Well, if something. Okay, it got hurt pretty bad apparently.
Looks like it.
Would we
So
expect
we are
anything
going
else?
in the right direction.
Would I know? Would I know if that's a lethal amount or? Like,
It's probably. It depends on the size of the dragon. Probably not, but it doesn't look like that was the whole dragon. If you see what I mean.
mm.
There is more blood further on. There is also a. It takes some prodding, but it stands out quite a lot in the sand because of the bright red color. It's a very heavy, sort of scaled, membranous kind of a thing.
That's
with
a-
it.
Is that
Is that a
Is
wing?
a wing?
That's a chunk of wing.
What in the hell did she do to it?
She winged it.
Why?
Thank you for the.
Why
Thank
are
you for
you
the.
like? If you're
You gave me
free-
the perfect setup, damn it!
Rami was looking very proud, and then I ruined it.
We're taking that with us.
What?
Good
What do
idea.
you do with it?
Dragon bits are. I don't know. Somebody probably has a use for dragon bits.
Remy, shield.
If you can chop it into portable bits in a few
You
moments,
can roll
yeah,
it up
if
and
you can-
stick it in a bag of holding.
It's a
Okay,
member. It's like a freaking. You got a wing rug. Okay, there.
Okay,
I've taken the
Take a
I've taken
breather
the
and-
dragon bit.
back it up.
While all of this chatter is going on, anybody who's not rolling up bits of wing or yelling at people who are, make me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
22.
Oh.
18.
8.
Our poor ranger. What in
15.
the hell, die?
What in the hell? What?
What are your dice? Your modifier is awful, and yet
Yeah, Froseth is the first to spot,
Roll,
off in the
roll.
distance, further north, uh, there's red. Not blood
Oh,
red,
shit.
because blood would have dried.
Oh, shit.
Froseth is the one who will be able to identify it as, that's probably a dragon body.
Oh, crap.
And it's, given how far away it must be big.
Oh, shit.
Is it moving?
Not that he can see, and he's got the best of all of you. So, but anyone lower than 20 and higher than like 10 just sees dot of red on the horizon.
I'm too busy rolling, so.
Remy tries to squint it out.
Wow. Go LSA.
huh?
Sorry, what?
What?
By that time you can.
I pointed out more clearly, like
Yeah.
that's a dragon body.
Wait,
God.
that's it.
Wow, that's the that.
We can
Let's
see
go.
it from here.
Let's go.
Let's go carefully.
Yeah, carefully.
when,
I'm having a moment of like, I've never seen a dragon before. Let's go check it out.
Never seen a
Have-
dragon before.
Question:
We've seen
Have I
Well, I've
actually
never
encountered
seen a-
dragon?
Red dragon.
you have
before.
never seen a dragon,
Okay.
Yeah, Remy's
not
gonna
in a
start
dragon form
jogging
anyway.
in that
Yeah.
direction.
Right.
Yeah. I've never seen a red dragon. Let's go take a look.
You
Darvin
probably don't
and
want to.
Remy get close first because
I follow.
they did the initial sprinting. There is a red dragon, and it is very, very dead.
Oh boy.
So is the Azamar lying half under, one of its claws punctured straight through. This was mutually assured destruction.
For once, not a word. Not a word from me. I'm just standing next to Remy at respectful distance, just not a word.
Who is that?
The
We
person I
just
was telling you about a minute ago.
breathes very deeply.
There's not any chance we could.
Mm-mm.
Been
Hazel,
way too long.
it depends entirely on
I'm
how close you might be to. And of course, you don't have any. You
gonna
don't
still
have
try.
spare the dying, do you?
Yes, I do.
Well, at the very least, you could
I'm gonna.
keep her from. If that
Yeah,
doesn't work, I mean.
I'm trying spare the dying first. So I'm
I just-
walking up to her, glowing, giving it a shot, and then I'm immediately chaining that into reaching into the pack and pulling out the diamonds, starting a channel.
And having seen this, I'm just like, oh. And
Remy will
I'm already pulling
hurry
out
up
my.
beside her.
Yeah, I'm already pulling out my veal in preparation.
Remy's grabbing the claw in preparation because she doesn't really have anything else to do, but that claw would be in the way if it works.
Maybe we'll probably step back a bit.
Okay.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
technically. Oh, this is an interesting situation. This really is.
We always seem to spring them on you.
Because,
Ew.
well, no, because you
Oh.
see, technically, this shouldn't work. I don't like saying no. So,
What?
as Hazel brings out the diamonds and reaches for that connection, she hears the voice of her god. You know what you ask. You don't have that power yet. What would you trade?
Oh god.
This is a sacrifice that goes beyond diamonds, and you know it.
At this point, anything.
And that would have to be spoken aloud, so.
What? What did you? What? Uh,
Make an offer. You can share the cost, but this is more than just diamonds and a request and a plea. This will
Guy.
require true sacrifice.
And I'm restating this as best I can.
Actually, do it in character, sweetie.
Okay. So let's see. We're gonna need a lot more than just me and diamonds for this one.
what do you mean?
Actual sacrifice, not just not just a request. Something. We can each give something.
Does that mean one of us would have to give our life for hers?
No, I don't know if it's life. I don't care if it's life, because if it's life, it's going to be me. But if it's you guys, just give something. An item, to whatever. Pick a thing, pick a vow, pick a... Pick a piece of yourself if you have to.
I mean, I don't know.
Flitty lands on top of Alice's forehead. I'ma give my blue. See, when we get older, we change color and we get more abilities. If I give my blue and go back to green, there's less that I can do, but I can give that and still not have my lifespan change, but skip blue from now on. I give that. There's a pulse from Hazel's symbol of Paylor. 2 more. I did that, guys, just to give you some
Illustration of the scope. Yeah.
And it could clunk. It could be it could be items that mean something to you. It could be it could be a stat. It could be
a symbol, and this is my symbol. I wear this haircut, the short on one side and the braided on the other, in token. It is what the battle masters of my clan wore. The short on the drawing side so as not to catch the bow, but the long on the other side to symbolize years spent in mastery. As the hair grows, so does the mastery. I showed no mastery of myself or my thoughts or my actions around her. And she showed me what mastery of battle was. Out with the packed blade in the form of a dagger, and off comes the braid. And I step over and lay it on her.
There's another pulse from the... I think for this, I'm not going to use a skill challenge just yet. One more.
Remy going to take out Alice's letter, fix it over Body's heart, and just gonna hold up her Arthurian pendant in the other hand. Looking up, I've given everything to Tritherion for this quest, and I have no expectations after that. But whatever I can spare, whatever I have when I've completed those vows, because I failed them with Alice, and she deserves the God's mercy for that.
Remy feels that brand sensation that she felt when she became a brass arrow, this time over her heart. And Hazel's pendant pulses again. The diamonds that she's brought out, the chips, turn to dust. And please tell me Remy actually pulled the claw out.
Yes.
Yeah, the first thing she notices is that god-awful hole that went straight through her breastplate closes up. She breathes just quietly, just the once, and then bugger! Ah!
Oh, praise Paylor.
Ah!
Oh, praise Paylor.
I paid 10 platinum for the... What the hell are you doing here?
Hi.
Ah!
Hi, Alice.
Hi.
Praise Paylor.
What?
Remy's trying to give her space, but she's kind of still.
What? What just... Okay, everybody's... What happened? What? Why am I wearing your hair?
Because
Who the hell are you? Points at Ava. What's going on?
It's been a day.
Well, you beat it. Points at the dragon.
You definitely won.
Yeah, I just wanted it not to breathe fire at the engines. I think it actually... This was supposed to be the safe trip. Thank you, by the way. I told you so. Ah. Okay, I'm pretty sure that got me through the... What?
Yeah, you...
What the...
You're not
The
gonna
gods
feel the
showed
next two.
mercy. Praise be.
Yeah, Hazel came...
Remy's hesitating on going for the hug, but she
Oh,
feels...
for pity's sake, and then just...
Get over there,
throws
you.
We found you, and then Hazel did...
What Hazel does.
Yeah, sorry. The whole... oh, Jesus.
Ava's just like,
Oops.
Put,
Whoever that is.
she's never seen anything like this.
She puts a hand on her own chest because that doesn't actually restore that much of the way of hit points. It's just makes sure she's alive. Oh.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
And I am
Actually,
taking...
yeah, Remy's gonna do the lay on hands right now.
Okay.
For
Lay on hug.
10 points.
Lay on hug. Lay on hug.
Lay on hug for 10 points.
Yeah, plus her own 5. So.
That's adorable.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I have a feeling that we all have some things to discuss because I think I missed something here.
Yeah. Well, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm
let me let me
But-
let me take a minute because can somebody with mending do something about this?
Got it.
I'm
Well,
pulling out the healing, touching it to her, and casting fourth level cure wounds.
And I'll start doing mending on.
yeah.
Going
Well,
to be better. Going to be better.
We'll let Hazel roll for the stuff of healing, but we've got to about that time,
Mhm.
and when we
Wow.
come
Oh, jeez.
Max, I think, or damn near.
close,
Wow.
call correctly, that plus lay on hands plus her own healing. Yeah, she's back up there, still with res exhaustion, but she's back up there. So we will come back in 3 weeks'
Mhm.
time.
Yep.
Hopefully all of us, if not then most of us, when we sort through, because this didn't go where I expected at all. But I'm gonna have to have there's gonna have to be some words with Remy over what she just pledged.
You didn't expect us to just go, wait a minute, this can't stand?
I mean, I was.
Remy was expecting to leave it in the hands of the gods, and what happened?
Yeah,
You just
and that's
did.
why we have to have an in character conversation the next time that we're doing the thing. Anyhow,
Anyway.
hopefully you'll be able to make the session in 3 weeks, but we are taking our holiday break, so we'll be back in 3 weeks' time. Hopefully, all of us. Actually, at the very least, this gives a very good reason for why Remy might be a bit quiet next time. Now I have
Yeah,
to.
yeah, that's fair.
And I also have 3 weeks to decide what we're going to do with the fact that we now have an extra party member.
Again.
Happy holidays, ladies and gents.
Happy
You just
holidays.
pulled a Vax!